Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today we will test drive the brand new MG4. This is the entry-level version basically in terms of options, but when it comes to battery and performance, it's kind of the middle range version. It comes with a 64 kilowatt-hour battery, 204 horsepower, and it's a rear-wheel drive. I will give you more detail as we go in the video. Also, it comes with 17-inch wheels, some plastic caps, but behind the plastic caps there are really nice alloy wheels that look super nice. We will drive in this video the car. If you want to see the review, interior, exterior, technical data, I have a separate video about this car, same car, and also I will have some extra test drive in the nighttime and so on if you want to see it. Now, the car comes with kind of keyless entrance. You can lock and unlock the car by pressing this button right here, just like that. Normal pedals. The seats are normal textile material, stuff material, side support, but the quality is pretty good and they are very comfortable. The thing is that because this is the entry-level version, didn't come with heated seats that you will get on a higher-end versions. The quality of the doors when you close it, it's also very good. Let me put the seat belt. I will give you some technical data and then we will start driving. I like the fact that once you go inside the car, you don't have any start button. You go inside the car, you just press the brake, check this out, and then it says ready, and right now you're ready to drive. You just press the brake, rotate this wheel to reverse and drive, or drive and then put it in park. You just press the park, electronic handbrake, everything it's automatically. It's almost the same as on Tesla. I love the steering wheel, the shape of the steering wheel, it's great as well. And you have a cockpit right here, a small cockpit, but very clear, and you have a good visibility from the driver point of view. What I wish to see is that this screen in the middle, it's a little bit tilted to the passenger, and usually it should be a little bit tilted to the driver. This is something that I wish to see. Otherwise, the visibility, it's great. I mean, it's great. You can reach it out super easy. It's not, I don't have any problem, but this is something that I wish to be a little bit different in the future, probably on the next version. Otherwise, physical button to control different functions. Here on the left side you can control the autopilot function. We will test it on the highway today, so stay with me. You have this armrest, plenty of space down here, but more about space you can find out in the review video. The starting price of the car, the most entry-level cheapest car that you can get, it's 31,400 euro, but it comes with a 51 kilowatt-hour battery. Now what we have today here is the Excite version, kind of the entry level, but it has 64 kilowatt-hour battery. The 51 kilowatt-hour battery, it's an LFP battery, where here on 64 and 77 kilowatt-hour battery version, it's a lithium battery. That's something to point out. And the price of this car that we have, it's 35,900 euro. And if you want to see the car, if you want to test drive it, if you want to buy it, check out Ariane Motors in Bucharest in Romania. They are super nice. They have also service, and they have all the MG models there. If you want to see the car, check them out. Definitely check them out. They are super nice. Other information, useful information on this version is the fact that it's a rear-wheel drive version. That means it drives the electric motor, it's on the rear, and it has 204 horsepower, 250 Newton meters. You can charge it in AC at around 11 kilowatt and in DC at around 140 kilowatt at fast charging stations. Also from 10 to 80% they claim around 26 minutes. That's pretty good. The top speed 160 km per hour, and the acceleration 0 to 100 in around 7.9 seconds, 7.7, 7.9, around there. The estimation of the range 450 km, probably in real life, maybe in the winter like right now, 350, 300 km real, but the estimated WLTP is 450. The ground clearance 15 centimeters. This is pretty good for an electric car. The weight of the car 1,651 kilograms. Comes also with ventilated brake discs on the front and normal brake discs on the rear, and the turning circle is 10.6 meter. And by the way guys, on MG you have like 7-year warranty or 150,000 kilometers. This is also super good. Also, I want to show you something before we start driving. I like some graphics here, they look super cool. By the way, let me go to climatic system. From here you turn it on and off, and if you go to climatic system, you can choose from here, very simple, the speed of the climatic system. I will put it on level 1 manual, 22 degrees. And now here, if you go to charge discharge information, you can find so many information about battery, about the state of the battery and all that stuff. Discharge here, because it has vehicle to load, able to send power, you find all the information here. And here on the energy consumption, you find all those information about the car and consumption on the last kilometers. Plus you have intelligent battery heating. This system is quite cool. If you want to preheat the battery before you go to supercharger, that will help a lot, but that will eat a little bit of range from the car, so you can deactivate it when you know you don't want to charge the car and stuff like that. Here you have a nice graphic, you will see it while we're driving, and here it shows you what happened with the energy. I like that, how much energy you recuperate, how much you lost through the climatic system and through driving. So we will reset it anyway, but before, if you go here to vehicle, you will see that you have so many information from and settings from driving modes. It has so many driving modes. Now I set up this button, this favorite button, to change different driving modes from here. You can see right now, and also you can see it on the screen down there. And you have snow mode, you have eco mode, you have normal, sport, and custom mode. If you go to custom mode, you can customize the horsepower, eco, normal, sport, the steering, light, normal, heavy, the pedal force, comfort, normal, sport, and then you can change those settings like energy recuperation, how strong you want to be, the recuperation of the energy, low, medium, high, or adaptive, the car will choose for you. And you have one pedal drive, you can activate it from here. We will activate it and we will drive, and I will explain you how it works. Plus energy saving mode, you can activate this and the car will try to save as much energy as possible. Then if you go to MG Pilot, you have three options: turn off all the settings, safety features like lane assist, adaptive cruise control, and all that stuff. Or you can put it on ACC, adaptive cruise control. That means the car will hold the speed, hold the distance between you and the car in front. And you have a nice graphic here on the left side. I will show you also when we drive. And then you have also the lane assist, departure, and all that stuff, alert and stuff. And if you go, it has also this lane assist hold, but the TGA, it's from autopilot. This is the complete autopilot. So once you activate it, I will show you, the car will do the job for you. Like in Tesla, will hold between the lanes, will hold the acceleration, will brake, will accelerate, depending what the car in front will do. And then you have also a few option settings here that you can choose. Traffic sign recognition, so you can activate this, the car can read the traffic signs. You have front collision assist, and you have also unsteady driving warning. If you drive not so steady, it will warn you. And towing mode, also a lot of safety feature. We will leave it like that, so I will show you how it works. Convenience features, I will show you in the review. Also, those are not so important. Here on the safety, we have auto hold. If you want to activate auto hold, you find it here, guys. That's something to keep in mind. Otherwise, we will drive first time in eco mode, recuperation on high. And yeah, let's drive it and then let's see what happened. So press the brake, rotate it like that. And by the way, on this version, I don't have any reverse camera. I have just 6 sensors. It doesn't come with a reverse camera on this version, but on the top end versions will come with a 360 degrees camera. Now let's drive it, guys. Visibility wise around the windows is very good. In the mirrors, very good. In this mirror here is not perfect. I mean, the headrest in the back there in the middle, if you take it out, will be better, but in general it's okay, but not as good as I wish from a car at this size. And I love the steering wheel, I have to tell you. I drive and I test BMW 5 Series last week, and it has practically almost the same shape of the steering wheel, and I'm in love with this shape. I really like it. You have such a good grip and it looks so futuristic, and you have such a nice view between the steering wheel here on the cockpit. Now guys, right now in this moment we are on eco mode, one pedal drive, it's deactivated, and the car, it's basically, if you accelerate and release the acceleration, the car will recuperate the energy back into the battery. It's not super strong, the recuperation, but you can see it's pretty strong, but not so strong. And it's great that you can choose between so many levels of recuperation. If you go here, so you can go to medium, high, or you can leave the car on adaptive. Now the cool part is that if you activate the one pedal drive, it's like, check this out, you just accelerate and then you release it, and then the car will go to a stop and engaging the auto hold for you, the same as Tesla. It's kind of the same one pedal drive, and it is a proper one pedal drive. This is what I like the most. Not many electric cars offer you so many settings to change from, and this is something that I like. And again, accelerate. And what I noticed that when you use one pedal drive, the recuperation power, the regeneration power, it's much more powerful, and you barely, kind of never use the brake, or maybe just sometimes at when something happened and you have to brake, then you have to use it, but otherwise it's just doing the job for you. And you can activate this autopilot. I will try to go in the city a little bit later and show you how it works also. But one pedal drive, it's basically acting like you just use one pedal. When you release it, it uses regenerative brake, and it's so strong that you don't even need to use the brakes. And we will show you, I will show you right here. Now accelerate. Acceleration, even in eco mode, it's pretty powerful. I noticed that it's pretty powerful. And yeah, you have more than enough. 204 horsepower, trust me, it's more than enough for daily driving. And you have still power. For example, here you are in eco mode, you want to go accelerate, no problem. It's so easy. So you have, even in eco mode, you have plenty of power. You don't have to worry about that. So eco mode, it's more than enough, I tell you, for the city driving. But if you want to put it in sport mode, you have of course also the normal mode and snow mode. But if you put it in sport mode, the car will be even much more responsive. So you will have a faster acceleration. You can see right here, I go inside this roundabout without any problem. So it's very easy. And even here, when you go out, ooh, you can see right here, it's easily go. And now I don't even need to use the brake. If I release the acceleration pedal, I notice that the regenerative brake, it's even more powerful than on Tesla Model Y, for example, on mine Tesla. Look, it's crazy powerful. Another thing that I notice on the car is that when you drive in sport mode and when you try to accelerate stronger and you take a curve, the back of the car, it's tend to slip a little bit, so it doesn't have that grip on the road, that crazy safe grip, probably because the car, it's relatively light for the power that it produces, because it feels crazy light. The car basically, I don't know, it feels probably one of the lightest electric car that I felt in terms of driving feeling. It feels crazy light, and probably that's why I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't have it slip a little bit from the back when you take curve and accelerate harder. So yeah, you have to pay attention to that stuff, but it's not big deal. Basically, if you drive normal, it's fine. But I need to point out that another thing, a very good thing that I noticed, let me activate autopilot to show you how it works. You just press this button, and right now you just set the speed. For example, let's set it 110. Right now the car drive 110. It shows you the car in front, and you can choose left and right. You can basically choose the distance between you and the car in front, and the car will do the job. Let me go to 110. I noticed that on the highway, guys, the sound insulation, it warns you to hold your hands on the steering wheel, but you can see that the car is doing pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect. It tends to bounce a little bit left and right, but it's pretty decent, I should say. And much better than what I saw on other cars. So you can see at 110, I like the sound insulation. Man, the sound insulation, it's very good on the car. Not perfect, but it's very good for the price range, for what it is. I'm impressed that the sound insulation, it's quite good. And if you go even 120, you see right now, it's tend to go left and right from the steering wheel. It start to hear a little bit of wind right now at 120. It's brake because the car in front, it brakes, and you see that's the autopilot. It's just brake and hold the speed depending on what the car in front will do. But you tend to hear a little bit of wind noise at 120 from the mirrors and from outside when the wind hit the car. But surprisingly good insulation from down and also from side, from the noise from other vehicles. But wind, it's kind of normal to hear a little bit, but good sound insulation. This is a plus for the car. Now the car is still driving behind that, and it still stay between the lanes. It tend to go a little bit left and right from time to time, but in general I think it's fine. If you hold the hand on the steering wheel like you should, you will be just fine. I mean, it's pretty good. Now let me go out here. I have to go out, and here I don't even need to use the brake, man. I mean, it's so strong that I need to still press the acceleration pedal. One pedal drive on this car, I find it really good, really good. Now the thing is like that they set up the suspension more to the comfort part. Probably they hear a lot of noise from the people complaining about Tesla Model 3 in the past with the suspension too rigid, maybe because electric car usually tend to have that rigid suspensions. They kind of set up the suspension much more comfortable. Man, the suspension are good for an electric car in this price range. Boy, the suspension are great. But you can see here, if you want to go out and you accelerate a little bit, sometimes, man, now it's fine, but sometimes it's tend to slip a little bit. It feels so light, so light. Love it. And you can see right now I don't even use the brake pedal. I never use the brake pedal, only the acceleration pedal. I think from when you activate the one pedal drive, I think 95% of the time you will use only the acceleration pedal. It's light, it's pleasant to drive, even though outside are around 0 degrees or 1 degrees. It's pleasant to drive. And you feel that in the curves. Yeah, it stays fine. I should say relatively fine. When you accelerate, it tends to slip a little bit. That's the thing, just a little bit. But it's reached the power and acceleration very easy. And once you reach 120, you start to hear a little bit of wind noise, but nothing serious, and it reached this power very easy. This speed, I mean 120. If you try to accelerate a little bit more, it's good visibility. I can see it stays pretty well on the road, even though it's quite lighter. When it's windy, you probably feel it a little bit, but I saw that it stays quite good at 120, 130. It's still fine. It can drive without any problem. So you can still drive it super easily. So at this kind of speed, no problem. 130. Easy for the car. and you can just play with only the acceleration pedal. With this speed it stays quite good, 120, 130, no problem. You start to hear some wind from outside, but that's kind of normal. Also the car have a nice aerodynamic, and that's why probably doesn't have too much noise. But 100, you feel nothing. Now I'm just releasing the acceleration pedal and the car will recuperate the energy back into the battery. If you have one pedal drive, it doesn't matter the other options on the energy recuperation. Look at this, it's so strong. If I release it, it's just go to a stop. It just go to a completely stop. And right now we are in sport mode. And in sport mode you feel the steering wheel a little bit more stiffer, you feel that. And that's nice. I mean, they kind of set up the things good. You see that? It's just slipping in the back. But that happened not only with this one, but also with many electric cars. And that tend to happen when the car is light and it has much power. That tend to happen, you know. If I have to compare it with other cars, I don't know, Tesla feeling, for example, it's much more heavier. It feels like you're having a heavier car. But here on this MG4, you feel like you're having a light car. It's easy to drive, and now the steering in sport mode, it's much more stiffer. I like that. I like this feeling a little bit stiffer sometimes, but not always. Sometimes I like to be light, for example in the city, but on the highway at high speed I like to be stiffer. And I think they set up the car pretty well. It's pretty good setup between those driving modes. And if we go right now in eco mode, you will notice that the acceleration pedal, it's much more smoother. The steering wheel, it's much more assisted and light. And here this road, it's kind of bumpy, and the suspension are doing really good for an electric car, for this class and for this price range, and for an electric car. I mean, probably because it's light, it has better suspensions, and they also set it up pretty comfortable, so you can feel really relaxed and comfortable in the car. Even here over those bumps, no, it's good. I have to say it's better than first edition Tesla Model 3. After they bring this Highland on the market, it start to be better, the suspensions, but this one, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. Sound insulation not bad, visibility pretty good. Yeah, that's the only thing. Sometimes when it's light, the car, you have to pay attention to the stability. But in general, I think it's a good car. It's easy to drive. It feels relatively good quality everywhere. I mean, it's good for driving in the city. It's good for driving on the highway. It's kind of a good all-arounder. Basically don't have too many things to complain about. And it's so easy to drive. You see here, it's tend to slip, but I think this is because it's ice on the road, because these guys here, they never put something on the road, like, I don't know, sand or something. Sometimes they slip too much in the offices, but when it's ice on the road, it's tend to slip a little bit. And also when you accelerate from scratch harder, and I have winter tires on the car, right? Sometimes when you accelerate and you take the curve in the same time, it tends to slip a little bit, but it's nothing serious. If you just drive normally, it's just fine. I just want to point out that and I'm really curious what you think. For those of you that has already drive this car, what's your impression? Write me in the comment. I'm really curious, because overall I think it's a great car. Of course it's not perfect, but it's great. In terms of range, you guys, I drive the car these days a lot, and I think the car, it has around, after my calculation, around 300 kilometer real life, I mean in the winter, around there, depending how you use it, depending if you use the climatic system or not. For example, right now the climatic system was on, we have around 29.8 kilowatt hour consumption driving on the highway, cold weather, as you saw in sport mode, accelerations, all that stuff. You see over those bumps, man, it's good. The consumption tend to be a little bit bigger, and I noticed that yesterday as well, and I'm not sure why, because the car size, it's good, it's light, not sure why. And we can basically see here where the car consume, and you can see the climatic system. And by the way, something that it's important and I forget to tell you guys, it is, the car doesn't have a heating pump. Probably that's why it has a higher consumption. So I will definitely recommend you, if you buy an MG4, go for the version with heating pump, because the entry-level version that I have with me doesn't have the heating pump. You have to go for the next level in order to get the heating pump, and that you can talk with the guys from MG and see online, because I definitely explain, if I remember well, I'm not sure if I show you that in the review video, but you have to go for a higher end level in order to get the heating pump, and this is important if you want to have a better range overall. So this one doesn't have heating pump, and that's why you can see with red how much the climatic system is eating from the range. In general, it drives fine. It's a fine car. It's really light and easy to drive, and it seems to be good build, but it has some minuses, like the stability there. I wish it was a little bit better. I think there, and I feel like there, you see right now also on the brakes, it's tend to slip a little bit, and I think it's because the ground, it's still icy. The thing is that the other electric cars from well-known companies tend to do a little bit better in terms of stability, but yeah, maybe it's just my experience. So that's why I'm really looking for you to write me in the comment to tell me what do you think about that, and what did you experience if you already own the car. But in general, I like very much the car. If I would buy this car, probably yes, for a good price for sure, because it has a lot of great stuff here going on. You see acceleration, ooh, it's quite nice, and the brakes are fine. Ventilated brake disc on the rear, brake disc on the front, ventilated brake disc on the rear, normal brake discs. So in general, it's pretty fine, and you park it so easy. We don't have a reverse camera in order to show you, but you have these sensors on this version. But in general, it's easy to drive. By the way, I want to show you something. If you go and drive, it's so easy to drive. The turning circle, it's 10.6 meter. This is something that I love, man. I mean, you can turn this car in such a small space. Check this out. It's so small, the turning circle. It's so light, it's so easy. It's easy to park in the city. So yeah, from my point of view, it's a great deal. You see how nice we turn around this area, and then you put it in park, and that's it. It's easy to drive. The consumption was like 29.8 from the start. I will do another video with consumption test only in eco mode, so we will see. You can see here it says like 1 kilowatt hour only for AC, was always on. Recuperation energy 1 kilowatt, and we use for driving 4 kilowatt hour. So total consumption around 5 kilowatt hour. for around 17.8 kilometers, a little bit higher, probably because it's cold outside. I think outside are around 0 degrees, and you saw a little bit of ice on the road. Usually they have to put something on the road there because it's a little bit slippery. And when you have such a light car, this one, it's lighter and it has a lot of power, you know. And when it's light and it has power, when you give the power and you press a little bit harder, the car tends to slide a little bit, at least in curves, you know, like you saw those drifting stuff. And sometimes, yeah, you have to, if you press gently, if you drive normal, you don't have any problem. But that's something to keep in mind, that you can probably expect, or this was from my experience. But otherwise, it seems to be a nice car, a great car, good build car. What I recommend you is just go to test drive, go to see the car, because you might be surprised. What I like very much about the car, I like the driving feeling and position because it's light. I like the suspensions, I like the sound insulation, I like the position of the things here and how you can adjust. The autopilot seems to be decent and pretty good, not at the level of Tesla, but it's pretty good. I wish to, I don't know, to improve maybe a little bit this stuff in the future with overpower, I should say. But in general, it's a nice car, it's a well-built car, and yeah, I like it. I think we will see a lot of this MG4 on the street in the future. Anyway guys, I hope the video was useful. If you want to see the car, if you want to test drive the car, if you want to buy the car, check out Ariane Motors. I will leave the link in the description, also on the screen. They are in Bucharest, in Romania. They have a big showroom. You can do the service there, you can buy all the MG cars and so on. So check them out. Thank you again for watching my videos. I hope this video was useful. I hope you get some useful information from here. Check out the full review with the same car. I have much more information there and technical data, and you can see interior, exterior plus multimedia. And yeah, that was all guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate. Stay close because will come a lot of interesting cars next month. So yeah, stay close. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I see you soon in the next one. Bye guys.